A very good afternoon to all my dear students. Welcome for today's session. A new day, a new start, and a new topic for today. That is Indian Partnership Act 1932. We'll be starting from today. A very good afternoon, Vindhya, Shivam, Shivansh, Priya, Prabhat, Akshay, all of you. Ma'am, doubt in document of title to goods. Okay, Akshay, we will take it. Padula Parthi, welcome to the class, friends. D Sai, Ravi Kumar, Umkar, Mohammed, Jolsi, everyone. Shri Krishna, welcome to the class, students. A very good afternoon to all of you. I hope you have no doubts in the sale of goods that we have completed yesterday. Entire Sale of Goods Act has been done, and now we will be explaining, starting with the Indian Partnership Act. So, all right, thank you, Priya, for writing no doubts. Everything is clear. That's wonderful. So, how do we come to know about the Partnership Act? So, I am a person who has started a business individually. So, when I am doing my business all alone, I'm known as sole. I want to share the burden of liability. What form of organization would you suggest me to start with? Okay, Karan Srivastav is asking, ma'am, facts of the case, practical questions में ना लिखे तो ICAI cutting marks for the fact of the question. See, Karan Srivastav, it depends how you're representing your answer. If you have included the facts of the case very briefly and you're trying to conclude, because when we say analysis and conclusion, you need to give some facts so that you can conclude on the basis of with your provision. So we generally try to say based on the above provisions and facts, we conclude. So for that, at least you should write a line or so. But I told in the last class also, it should be a very summarized version. You don't have to go into much details for the facts of the case. You don't have to write the entire question only that they have given. Okay. Good afternoon, Masami, Sarla Devi, those who have just joined now, Chaitanya, everybody, welcome to the class. So yes, children, I was asking you, if I want to start, which form of organization? Okay, Bhanu, Vaishnavi, everybody, Vaishnavi. So they suggest that we should open partnership form of organization. Okay. Yes, Rini, partnership would be a good form of organization because then, say for example, I joined, Miss Rini joins me as a partner. So now Harleen ma'am and Rini are partners in a firm. So our assets, the capital will get increased because she will also be getting in some capital. Our assets are jointly being held, and now our liabilities get shared. Although we are sharing the profits, but the liabilities also get shared. But again, there was a burden of unlimited liability. Even in the partnership, the liability of the partners is unlimited. So if I still want to control my liability, which form of organization would you now suggest? So if I have opened up a sole proprietor and I have expanded my business, for those who have just joined now, we're just doing a general check about the form of organizations. Okay, Sarla Devi says limited liability company. So now you would suggest me a company. Okay, Sangram says LLP. Padula Parthi, Hitesh, everybody saying LLP. That's great. So I thought I'll tell you what is LLP. आपको तो पहले ही पता है, आप तो आंसर कर रहे हो LLP. Okay. So let's go with the example of Sarla Devi. She said, ma'am, open up a company which is a limited liability company. So before 2008, we were having this option only that if I want to expand myself, then again, I have two options. If we are 2 members, we can open a private company. And if we are 7 minimum members are required for opening a public company. And in company, I used to get the featured and benefits of limited liability. But people thought that yes, Sangram, we do have OPC. परी आपको ये हम तो भी जनरल बातें कर रहे हैं बेटा, हम समझ रहे हैं कौन कौन सी फॉर्म्स ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस होती हैं. आई होप परी भोयर आपको हिंदी में समझ आ रहा. ओके, अगर आपको कुछ ना समझ आए तो आप स्पेसिफिकली पूछ लीजिए बेटा. Okay, so this is a form of organization. Sole proprietors, say we combined into partnership. Then we thought about private company or a public company. Now, for opening a company, a lot of compliance is required. But partnership, it was very simple. Okay, Nikhil Khanna, that is a clue for you. You have to guess, okay? So, we will be forming a type of an organization where we don't have too much of compliance, and the flexibility of partnership that we're going to start right now will also be given. So that is why how LLP limited liability partnership was started off, because the biggest disadvantage, in fact, we would call a partnership is that it has huge unlimited liability. So now we have set the base, how we are going to start. So we have different, so after Indian partnership, you will be doing limited liability partnership students, because LLP is now part of your CA foundation syllabus also. So the students should be well aware that there are different forms of organization, but we study Indian Partnership Act 1932 at length. Now it's Indian Partnership Act 1932. So entire provisions of partnership were earlier included in which act? Anyone knows? So when we started with sale of goods, I told you a contract is being formed between the buyer and the seller. So the entire Sale of Goods Act was taken out from 1930 from the Indian Contract Act, and separate act was formed. Similarly, all the provisions before 1932 of partnership were also clubbed with the Indian Contract Act. Now, since Indian Contract was having sale of goods and partnership also, तो वो अपने आप में act बहुत huge हो गया. So in 1932, government decided that any fights between the partners, any rules and regulations are being violated between the partners, you don't need to go and open the Indian Contract Act. उसी में से ही हमने partnership की provisions लेकर एक separate act बना दिया, that is Indian Partnership Act 1930. So that is how the Indian Partnership Act was made. Now, since we are starting with a new chapter, so I always try to tell my students that you're working hard. So remember, just not with working hard, visualizing your success is also very important. Keep imagining that, yes, one day I am going to be sitting in the examination hall and I will be very well prepared and I will clear my exams. But this happens only when we actually put in our efforts, we actually do the hard work, and then we imagine the success, then we really win the race with. So for this, you have to know your syllabus very well, keep making your notes. And I told you in the previous class also, revision is must. So try to be very consistent. I can do it and I will do it should be your motto as far as you are a CA foundation student, a chartered accountant student, should always have that motivation and willpower that yes, I can do. Many a times you do feel that too much of complications, too many subjects, yaad nahi ho raha hai, too much to remember. So the best part for that is make a study plan. Always have a timetable in your hand, how you're going to divide your subjects, and all the subjects are important, children. Not just law and accounts, economics and maths are equally important, because in each subject you need to score at least 40 and the average aggregate is to this 50% out of the entire marks. So 200 out of 400 is important. So don't just prepare yourself for 40, 40, 40. Then it's 40 into 4, 160. Again, you'll not win the race. Even 199 will not win the race. For winning the race, you have to have a good combination of all subjects so that you can score very well above 200. And trust me, if you study well, you can easily go around 250, 260, 280 also. It's very easy. Only hard work is required. Padhna hai sirf. And mehnat karni. All right? So the way we are going to form partnership today, promise me that you will be studying in the same way as we have been doing Sale of Goods Act. Now we will be revising each and every lecture of Indian Partnership Act also, and keep on making your notes side by side and keep on doing. All right. Well done, students. Everybody has said, yes, ma'am, we will do it. So that's great. Okay. Okay, Badula Bharti, no worries. You have not missed out anything. We have just started only, so nothing to worry. So now, Indian Partnership Act 1932. Section 4 of the Indian Partnership tells us that how the partnership is defined. Now, the definition of partnership itself is defining the characteristics or elements of the partnership. Okay? It itself defines the characteristics and what are the elements of the partnership. So let's see the definition. Partnership is the relation between persons who have agreed to share the profits of the business, which is to be carried by all or any one of them acting for. Now, Partnership Act is very small. It might sound confusing because it's little lengthy when you go to the second chapter. But again, if you keep on listening very carefully, keep on making your notes, MTPs, RTPs के सारे questions solve करते रहोगे, it becomes very, very easy to learn. So partnership is the relationship between persons, means it is defining something between two or more than two people. So can a single person open up a partnership firm? The answer is no. Single person is a sole proprietor. Now we have OPC also, that is one person company. Single person can open up a company also. But can a single person open up a partnership firm? No. You at least need minimum 2 people in order to set up a partnership form of organization. So point number 1 is number of persons, 2 or more. Point number 2 is who have agreed to share. Agreed का मतलब क्या होता है कि हमने एक दूसरे के साथ वादा करा है, एग्रीमेंट करा. So partnership में agreement is very, very important. Unless and until you don't have a partnership agreement, then it is not a partnership because agreement between the partners is very important. And what is the third point? What are you going to share? We're going to share the profits. Out of what? Out of business. If I'm just sharing my salary with my sister, are we partners? No, ma'am, you're not partners. You're not doing any business. You're not sharing any profits. So sharing of salary will not make you a partner, but you have to have partnership with whom you're sharing the profits from the business. And the fifth element is carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. Now this we will understand with a very nice example. Suppose there are 3 partners, A, B and C. These are 4 partners, A, B, C, D and E. 5 partners. They have joined hands together. They have said, promised that we agree to share the profits from the business. Carried on by all or anyone means either one of them is doing the business or all of them are doing the business. Say, for example, these are the 5 partners, A, B, C, D, E. Mr. A went and did a contract with Mr. Z. They have supplied 100 bags of wheat or whatever business that they're doing. They have supplied to Mr. Z. Or they have purchased the goods from Mr. Z. A has purchased the goods from Mr. Z for the partnership firm, the business that they do. Can Z go and recover that money from Mr. B or C also? Or can he only recover the money from me? Tell me, children, in the chat box. There is Mr. Z who has been. Yes, Hitesh, absolutely. That's what we're going to understand. So Z, only A. Nikhil says only A. Why Nikhil only A? Sandeep, anyone. Yes, he can receive from anyone. So why anyone? Now Z is an outsider who is dealing with the firm. For him, any one person or the firm is one and the same thing. So even if one of the partner go and purchase from the outsider, all of the firm can become liable. Any of the partners is the correct answer. Well done. So that means he can recover the money from any of these partners. They all become liable. Why they are liable? Because, child, this is based on the relationship of mutual agency. That means partners are agent of each other, and also they're having a principal and agency relationship. All the partners are principal for each other, and all the partners are acting as an agent for each other. That is why it is known as partnership carrying on the business by all or any one of them is acting for. Clear ho gaya? So out of this only we get our elements of the partnership. Let's read the elements. Partnership is an association of two or more persons. दो या दो से ज्यादा लोगों की एसोसिएशन है, मीन्स मिनिमम 2 पर्सन होने चाहिए. परी बोयर, कैन वी हैव 1 पर्सन ओपनिंग अप अ पार्टनरशिप फर्म? यस परी. क्या सिर्फ एक इंसान पार्टनरशिप फर्म खोल सकता है? क्या एक ही इंसान सेलर एंड बायर हो सकता है? So we did that in the previous class also, that at least 2 people are required. So the correct answer is no. Okay. So partnership is an association of 2 or more persons. Second point says partnership comes as a result of an agreement between the people. So it should be an agreement. Now class will tell me, is it necessary to have a written agreement, or we can have an oral agreement also? What do you feel? Not necessary. Absolutely correct. Very good answers given by all of you. It is not necessary. Written is, yes, Hitesh, it is deed only, but is it compulsory? Tanisha, very good. We can have it oral. Both are also valid. Yes, they are valid, but I was just trying to check whether you know that oral is also possible. Absolutely correct. The agreement can be written or oral, but actually it should be in writing only, because a written agreement is always valid in the sense that it becomes easy to hold the people liable for their actions. Partnership must be organized to do some business. Now, this is very, very important point. There are 2 people, 2 friends, A and B. They have together opened up a shop for selling chocolates and other grocery items in the market. So A and B are doing business. Yes. Are they 2 and more than 2? They are 2 people. They have entered into an agreement. Yes, they have entered into an agreement. Are they sharing the profits? Yes, they are sharing the profits. And whatever business A is doing, B is also liable. Whatever business B is doing, A is liable. Can we say A and B are partners? Yes or no? In such a scenario, can we say that A and B are partners? Absolutely correct. All right. So business must be carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. Now, if they are absolutely correct, yes, ma'am, they are partners because they are doing the business together, and also they are sharing the profits with each other. Okay. But if at the same time, these E and B are brothers and they have this joint house property out of which they are getting rent, and whatever rental income comes, they share it among themselves. Now let's try to apply this principle. Are they 2 and more than 2 people? Yes, ma'am. Are they doing any business? No, ma'am. Are they sharing the profits of the business? No, ma'am. Are they liable for each other? No, ma'am. They're not even liable. So even if they have a rent agreement among themselves, that is for sharing of the rental income. They're not doing any business. They're not sharing profits. Absolutely, Karan Srivastav. This will be the case of co-ownership. So this is not a partnership. This is the case of co-ownership. Clear to everyone? So all these elements of partnership you have to learn, and one by one we're going to read them from the study material also. Now section 6 tells you what is the true test of partnership. Before that, let me just tell you how the topics will be being covered. So the first part of unit 1 is, unit 1 we have started formation of contract of partnership. First part we talk about the essential elements of partnership, that is section 4. Then we talk in detail about section 6, where we do 2 important case laws also. What is the true test of partnership? कैसे पता लगता है कि partnership ही है और कुछ और नहीं है? What is the true test? Then how this partnership is different from other form of organizations, and who are the types of partners. In detail, we'll be doing each and every topic from the study material also and from my notes. Elements of partnership is clear. Now, what is the meaning of true test of partnership? True test of partnership, children, means section 6 tries to tell you how will you say that, yes, this is only the partnership form of organization. For that, 3 criteria are there. 5 characteristics to hai hai. But out of that, 3 are very, very important to conclude it's a partnership. Number 1, you have to have a written agreement among yourself. Whether it is written or oral, it does not matter. But agreement होना बहुत जरूरी. आप ऐसे नहीं बोल सकते कि हमने एग्रीमेंट ही नहीं करा और हमारी पार्टनरशिप. सो एग्रीमेंट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर हैविंग अ पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. Agreement must be to share the profits of the business. Are we sharing the profits and losses both? Yes, there has to be an agreement. How much profit are you sharing? Is it 5:1, 2:1, or equally? Whatever you're sharing, you have to mention that in the partnership. And the business is being carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. This is known as the principle of mutual agency. This is known as the principle of mutual agency. So agreement is important, sharing of profits is important, and the business carried by all or any one of them acting for all. If all these 3 conditions are satisfied, then yes, it is a partnership form of organization. Now, there were 2 case laws, one under section 4, that is KD Kamath and Company, and second, Santi Ranjan Das Gupta versus Murzamul, section 6. Let's do these case laws in detail from the study material also. All right. So this is your Indian partnership. Let's have an overview. Fatapat se, partnership is relationship between persons. We have already discussed. All the persons who are entering into partnership are known as partners. Collectively, they are known as firm. कहते हैं firm क्या होता है? Firm कोई अलग सी चीज थोड़ी ना है. आप सारे partners को मिलाकर क्या बनती है? Firm. But LLP में different है. LLP को legal status मिल जाता है company का, and partners are different. But we will not discuss LLP because otherwise you'll get confused. First, you will completely do the partnership, and then when you go to the LLP, you will understand the differences between the two of them. And the name under which the business is being carried on, it is known as the name of the firm. Now, these are the elements one by one. We're going to read them. Association of 2 or more persons. It says partnership is an association of 2 or more persons. Only 2 persons who are recognized by law can enter into the agreement. 2 persons recognized by law means only human individuals. Firm cannot enter into a partner. Can we say that ABC Associates is a partner in my firm? The answer is no. Firm cannot be a partner in a firm because firm is not an individual, right? So only the individuals, humans, can become the partner in a firm. Can a minor join the firm? It says minor again cannot join the partnership firm, but he can be admitted as per section 30. He can be admitted for the benefits of the partner. That too if all the partners have agreed. Now, what is the maximum number of limit of partners? It says Partnership Act does not tell how many members can be there, but Companies Act has put up a limit of 50 partners in any association or partnership. So what is the maximum cap? 50 partners in any association or a partnership firm. Second is the point of agreement. Agreement has to be there between 2 or more persons. This relates to voluntary contractual nature of partnership. Means this is a contract. Voluntarily कर रहे हो and आप अपनी मर्जी से contract enter कर रहे हो. Compulsory नहीं है आपको partnership करना. So it has to be a voluntarily act. It should be free from coercion. किसी को आप force करके gunshot पे नहीं करा सकते partnership agreement. It should come from within that I want to be a partnership in your organization. Any agreement from which partnership arises may be expressed, it may be implied. So it can be oral also, it can be writing also. The course of conduct is being followed, showing the mutual understanding between you. Okay. After that, it says it is important you have started the partnership. The motive should be existence of business and also having profits out. If A and B have started the business for buying the apples for 100 rupees and selling it for 100 rupees only, is it a partnership form? It says you're doing business, but it is have some gains. है ना? ऐसे तो नहीं कह सकते ना हमने लॉस पे करने के लिए बिजनेस खोला या फिर कॉस्ट टू कॉस्ट करने के लिए बिजनेस खोला. We have to have a proper business which will be earning a profit also. So existence of business and acquisition of gains both are compulsory. Sharing of profits. If I ask you, let me ask you a very interesting example. If I told you in the starting of the class, I'm a sole proprietor, I wanted to expand my business, you said, ma'am, you form a partnership. But I don't want to share my assets and profits with anyone. I have hired Mr. Ram as as an assistant in my shop. And I made an agreement with Ram that you will be working in my organization. Now I give salary of 10,000 every month to Mr. Ram. So whatever profits I'm earning, say I have earned 1 lakh profits in a month. Out of that, I have given P&L account to Ram's salary. So can we say that Ram is my partner in the firm because he has got a share of my profit as a salary? Everyone says, no, ma'am. Very good. Bhanu, Amit, Badra Parthi, Ravi Kumar, Vindhya, everyone. Sarla Devi, Divakar, Kiran, Priya, everybody is correct. Why? Because child, he is only getting salary. He is not doing business with me. We are not sharing the profits from the business. So such an employee will not be my partner just because he's getting the salary. He's not sharing the profits. If co-owners have purchased the rent right from the land, they're not partners because there is no business. Any charitable organization or a club, will it be considered as a partnership? So it says no, club is not a partnership. Charitable organization is also not a partnership. In the further chapter, we will understand how they are different from the partnership form of organization. But example 3, X and Y, they're buying cotton to sell it on their joint account and share the profits equally. Can we say X and Y are partners in the cotton business? The answer is absolutely yes. Why? Because all the essential elements are present. They are association of 2 or more persons, having the sharing of profits, partnership agreement is there, and they're doing the business out of which they're getting the profits, and there is a principle of mutual agency. Means whatever X will go and do, buy cotton from the dealers, Y will also be held liable for that. And the last one is the business should be carried on by all or any one of them. Even if one of the person is doing all the contractual things, relationship of mutual agency is there between the partners. Say ABC are partners. A made certain purchases for the business from Mr. K. Can K recover the amount from ABC, all partners, or only from A? Tell me. In example number 4, can he recover the amount? What are your answers? Yes, Rini Chauhan, absolutely correct. All the partners will be held liable. Even if one of the partner, he has purchased the goods from him, all the partners will be held liable. Now in KD Kamath and Company, children, it's a very important Supreme Court judgment. There are 2 important essential conditions. Law says that there should be an agreement and mutual agency relationship. However, in KD Kamath case, what happened was the exclusive power and control and management was in the hands of one partner, that is Mr. KD Kamath. And it was held that only one partner is operating the bank accounts, only one partner is going and borrowing the money. This is not a constructive theory for the 2 conditions mentioned earlier. Partnership agreement is also known as partnership deed. Now, this is a different story. That partnership agreement is called a partnership deed also. केडी कामत के केस में हुआ क्या था, पहले मैं आपको ब्रीफ स्टोरी बताती हूँ. KD Kamath was the person who was doing the entire business in his own name, and he had certain partners also. But when it came to going to the income tax authorities or filing a case or anything, KD Kamath was doing it all by himself. सारी जो कंपनी की मैनेजमेंट एंड कंट्रोल थी ना फर्म की, वो केडी कामत के हाथ में थी. तो लॉ ने कहा आप तो सिर्फ सिंगल पर्सन हो, आप कैसे कह सकते हो ये पार्टनर्स. उसने कहा इफ आई डू समथिंग, ऑल्दो आई एम ऑपरेटिंग द बैंक अकाउंट्स, ठीक है ना, बट स्टिल आई एम लायबल फॉर द अदर एक्शंस ऑफ द अदर पार्टनर्स आल्सो. So law says KD Kamath and Company की सुप्रीम कोर्ट जजमेंट में ये डिसाइड हुआ that if any of the partner, even if the exclusive control, ये लिखेंगे आप, even if the entire control and management is in the hands of, even if the entire control and management is in the hands of a single partner, still if there is an agreement between partners and the sharing of profits is being happening, all of them are liable for the firm. Even if the entire control and management is in the hands of a single partner, still if there is an agreement between the partners sharing a profit, all of them acting for the whole means each partner, not one partner, each partner is liable for the actions of the firm. Then in such a case, partnership is said to exist. All right. Just write this. Give me 2 minutes. I'm just going to. So it says even if all the entire management is in the hands, Supreme Court passed this judgment that even if one of the manager is having the judgment in his hands, then also you cannot. So Supreme Court basically said that you are a sole proprietor. You are only opening the bank accounts. You're only having the entire control in your hand. How can you say that there is a partnership form of organization? So law said, as far as there is an agreement between the partners, they are sharing the profits. There is the principle of mutual agency. If you're holding each other liable for their actions, then it is a partnership under Section 4. All the conditions and elements of the partnership are to be seen together in order to conclude it as a partnership. It says if you are just operating the bank accounts, that are not destructive theory of the partnership, provided the above conditions are important. What are the conditions? Agreement है उनमें, हाँ जी agreement है, mutual agency है, हाँ जी है, so फिर वो मान लिया जाएगा कि वो partnership. So what happened was, now on the basis of such cases, they decided how we have to determine whether it is truly a partnership or not. Section 6 has to be applied. So all these points were concluded that to find the real relationship between the partners, we have to see that if there is an agreement between the partners, an agreement is to share the profits, and the business is being carried by all or any one of them acting for all, then yes, we do conclude that they are having a partnership kind of relationship. Now, agreement is by when you form a partnership, you sign an agreement, not by status. Like HUF में तो आप by status बन जाते हो. When a child is born in the HUF or a Burmese Buddhist family, then you become the member of that family. You don't have to sign any agreement to be a member of a family business. HUF family business, you don't have to sign an agreement. But if you are forming a partnership, you have to sign an agreement. Then only you become the member. Now, sharing of profits is very, very important. Now, these kind of things come in the exam for, 5 marks or 6 marks case study based questions come. It says sharing of profits arising from the property person is holding or common interest does not make such persons partners. How do you become a partner? Like I told you, I'm giving the salary to my employee. Will he become my partner? No. If he's just sharing the profits from the business or I'm paying him the salary, he will not become my partner just because of that reason. Where the person is a lender of money to the person engaged in the business, or you're paying the money to for example, you're lending the money. Somebody who is engaged in that business for lending money does not become your partner because you cannot see that out of your profits you have lent the money. If you're giving money to a servant or an agent as a remuneration, he will not become the partner. Any widow or a child of a deceased partner, one of the partners has died, and to the widow you're giving the money as annuity. Will she become a partner? No, she will not become the partner. Any previous owner, so I purchased the business from you and I have paid you the payment for the goodwill. You do not become my partner just because I have given you the payment for the goodwill. Okay. All right. Clear to everyone? These it was all the partners are liable basically. All right. Sharing of profits is an essential element to make a partnership, but it is a prima facie evidence, not conclusive evidence. Now, this line is very, very interesting and at times bother the students also. And this is the line on the basis of which examiner gives you a question. Sharing of a profits is a prima facie evidence, not a conclusive evidence. अब मैंने कहा हम दोनों पार्टनरशिप कर लेते हैं, हम प्रॉफिट्स शेयर करेंगे, but I am not liable for your actions. Say for example, Disha, Bindya and Abhishek opened up the partnership firm. But Bindya said, I'm not liable for Disha and Abhishek. Disha said, I'm not liable for other two persons. They're just sharing the profits. They're doing the business together, but they're not liable for each other's actions. So law says this is not a partnership. Just because you're sharing the profits with each other does not become a partnership. The conclusive evidence is that you have to have a mutual agency. Holding a common interest in the property will not make the persons partners, like a co-ownership. If you're jointly holding any property and we are getting the interest or the rental incomes out of that, that will not make us the partnership. For having a partnership, we need to have an agreement, we need to share the profits of the business, and we need to have the mutual agency principle present. Then only we become the partnership. Where there is an express agreement between the persons to just share the profits, having a mutual agency, then there's no difficulty in applying that it's a partnership organization. Now, these 2-3 pages, again and again, they have written the same things. One, you will underline this line, prima facie and conclusive evidence. If such a kind of question comes, you will have to write section 4 and section 6. If there is an expressive agreement determining the relationship of partnership. But the task becomes difficult when there is no agreement. फिर बड़ी मुश्किल आती है, कहते हैं हमने एग्रीमेंट बनाई ही नहीं, बिकॉज एग्रीमेंट कैन बी ओरल और इन राइटिंग. ओके, सो इफ इट डज नॉट स्पीक स्पेसिफिकली ऑफ एनी पार्टनरशिप, then section 6 has to be referred. The real relationship between the parties has to be seen by taking all the facts together. This rule is easily stated, but its application is difficult. Cumulative effect of all the facts have to be taken with surrounding circumstances while deciding and finding out the existence. So it says you cannot just hold on a single relationship. Like I just gave an example कि हमारी agreement है, sharing of profits है, but mutual agency नहीं, तो हम partnership नहीं. All right. So all the effects have to be taken together, children. Then only we can conclude. Now let's quickly wind up with the agency. It says mutual agency is the cardinal principle of partnership. So now we say that mutual agency agar nahi hai, to we cannot. If you have to bind all the partners. What is the meaning of binding all the partners? I purchase the goods from the dealer. Is my other partners liable? Yes, ma'am. They purchase something. Am I liable? Yes, ma'am. We are binding all the partners. Then only the existence of mutual agency is said to be existing. Now, Santi Ranjan Das Gupta versus Mirzamul Supreme Court judgment. Now, what happened in this case law was that law said there is no partnership between the parties. Why? He said, first of all, the parties have not maintained any record. There were no terms and conditions of partnership. They have maintained no business accounts, no bank accounts were opened. There was nothing to do inspection. No written information was given that it is a newly created partnership. So Santi Ranjan held that you have started a partnership and you say that you are a sole person and you're just trying to take the benefits of partnership. Law said you have to have certain records. Where is your agreement? अगर agreement ही नहीं है, फिर तो बात ही नहीं, बात खत्म होगी ना. So at least there has to be an agreement. First of all, the terms and condition that defines between the partnership. So if there is no agreement, no sharing of profits, no accounts are being maintained, no bank account has been opened, therefore it was held that there is no partnership. So in both the case laws, what have we concluded? So KD Kamath and Company, children, this is the case law which was decided on the basis of applying the principles of section 4. If all the elements are considered, yes, it is a partnership form of organization. Santi Ranjan Das Gupta under section 6, since the agreement is only not there, therefore it is not a partnership form of organization. समझ आ गया? Now let's start the differences between the partnership and company. Any doubts still here? Okay, crystal clear. Sarla has written, Vindya has written. Here all the partners are liable. Good. Yet Rachna, yes, company is an individual. Absolutely. But firm is not an individual. Very good. Yes, sharing of profits is prima facie, Sri Krishna. Conclusive evidence is mutual agency. Partnership agreement can be oral also. That is fine. What is the cardinal principle? Mohit is asking. So Mohit, cardinal principle means like if you have done in your bio, cardinal means the heart, which is important. So the heartbeat of partnership means something which is very, very important to run a partnership is the mutual agency. अगर आपने एग्रीमेंट बना ली, शेयरिंग ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स कर लिया, बिजनेस है, प्रॉफिट्स आ रहे हैं, बट म्यूचुअल एजेंसी नहीं है, तो इज इट अ पार्टनरशिप? यस और नो स्टूडेंट्स, टेल मी. No. Very good. Absolutely. Everybody says no. But if I'm sharing the profits, I have the business, and we have not made an agreement, but we are having a mutual agency, then it is a partnership. We have not made the agreement, Sarla Devi. Then Santi Ranjan Das Gupta. Yes, everybody says no. Very good. All right, good. Now let's start the differences between partnership and company. First point of differences that we're going to do, partnership and company. Now children, I told you that if I want to expand my business, I can start up a company also. But what is the difference between a firm and a company? Firm is different and a company is different. Company gets its legal status. It is governed by Companies Act 2013. But partnership is governed by provisions of Indian Contract Act and Partnership Act. It is not just guided by the Partnership Act, it is also guided by the Indian Contract Act. However, for companies, we follow Companies Act 2013. What is the meaning of perpetual succession? Means continuous existence. Please write down. It means continuous existence. Perpetual succession means कभी खत्म नहीं होती है, continue करती रहती है to exist. Company has a perpetual succession because when companies form, company is an artificial legal person. जब कंपनी इनकॉर्पोरेट कर देते हैं, वो ठप्पा लग जाता है, सर्टिफिकेट ऑफ इनकॉर्पोरेशन मिल जाता है, तो कंपनी एग्जिस्टेंस में आ जाती है, एक आर्टिफिशियल सुपरफिशियल बॉडी, नॉट रियल बॉडी, नॉट अ ह्यूमन बीइंग, इट कैन नॉट बी सीन और टच्ड, बट इट एग्जिस्ट ऑन दी पेपर्स. कागजों में कंपनी एग्जिस्ट करती है. कंपनी इज एन आर्टिफिशियल लीगल जुडिशियल पर्सन. So this was laid down in Salomon versus Salomon and Company Limited case. जब आप कंपनीज पढ़ोगे तब आप वहां पे ये केस लॉ करोगे बेटा. सो वहां आपको पता लगेगा कैसे कंपनी इनकॉर्पोरेट. बट पार्टनरशिप इज नॉट एन आर्टिफिशियल पर्सन. पार्टनरशिप तो सिर्फ एक फर्म है. इट इज नॉट एन इंडिविजुअल. इट इज नॉट एन आर्टिफिशियल. Therefore, partnership does not have perpetual succession. Say, for example, in company, the members are different, company is different. बट पार्टनरशिप फर्म में अगर ये दो बंदे हैं जिन्होंने पार्टनरशिप बनाई, सो इन दोनों को ही हम फर्म कहते हैं. बट अगर ए बी सी ने मिलके कंपनी बनाई, देन कंपनी इज डिफरेंट एंड दीज मेंबर्स आर डिफरेंट. कंपनी इज एन आर्टिफिशियल जुडिशियल पर्सन. सो अगर ये कल को तीनों बंदे नहीं भी रहते, ABC 3 are 3 directors of the company, and even if they died, company still continue to exist. But A and B are together known as firm. If these partners die, firm will also come to an end. Because firm does not have perpetual succession. How many number of members we can have in partnership? It says partnership, you can have minimum 2, maximum limit is 50. So Companies Act has defined it to be 100, but the latest Companies Rules 2014 has restricted the limit to 50. So which one you have to learn? That is 50 is the current limit because rules always supersede the act. So in the rules amendment 2014, it is given that you cannot have more than 50 partners in a firm. And what are the maximum number of members you can have in a private company? Minimum 2 and maximum 200. And in case of a public company, minimum 7 and maximum, there is no limit in case of maximum numbers of public company members. And OPC, even one person can open up an OPC, that is one person company. How is the distribution of profits happening? In partnership, we are dividing the profits as per the partnership deed. What is the partnership deed? The agreement that we have made. But do we divide the profits of the company? No. Dividend is given to the shareholders out of the profits. Now, property of the company. Company's property is separate, shareholders' property is separate. अगर आपने Reliance में एक शेयर खरीदा है, तो क्या आप Reliance की property के holder बन गए हो? No. Company's property is separate and should they get it back in the form of dividend or a fund of capital. You don't become the member, does not have the interest in the property, or it is separate from the members. However, if you have opened up a partnership firm, then it is a joint estate of all the partners. सारे partners का equal हक होगा उस property. Can we transfer the shares? Shares of a private company can be easily transferred. You don't have to ask for anybody else. Private company shares can be transferred to another person. But in partnership, you cannot transfer your interest without taking the consent of all the partners. So if you are a partnership, A, B, and C are the partners having 50% shares, 30% shares, and 20% shares. Now the C wants to transfer a whole of his interest to somebody else. He can do only when A and B will give their consent, means only if they will agree, then only C can do, otherwise he can. Clear, beta? Then what is the liability of the company? Company's liability can be limited by shares or limited by guarantee. Which when you go to Companies Act, you will learn how the liability is limited, but they have limited liability. But partnership, I told you the biggest disadvantage of partnership is that their liability is unlimited. Partners तो एक दूसरे के एजेंट भी होते हैं, प्रिंसिपल भी है, because we are acting on behalf of each other. But is the company agent? Members are the agent of the company? No, they are not agent of each other. Only directors take part over here. In partnership, all the members take part. Here, only directors take part. Here, all the partners take part. And how does the winding up? Winding up means closing कैसे होती है company? Company की closing up, wind up होती है by National Company Law Tribunal when their name is struck out from by the Registrar of Companies. NCLT एक tribunal है, court है, जो company law matters के साथ deal करता है. That is National Company Law Tribunal. But partnership may be dissolved by any partners if all the partners agree. So winding up of partnership is much simpler as compared to the winding up of company. So company and partners are different from each other. So I told you, children, partnership is very, very easy, but there are too many technical things to learn and to revise. So we have done a definition. We have done section 4 essential elements. Explain the property point. Okay, Tanisha, I will explain you the property point. We have done the section 4 and section 6 also, 2 tests. And we have done first point of difference, that is between partnership and company. So Tanisha is asking, what is the meaning of property? So property between partnerships. So me, A, B, and C have opened up the partnership firm. A bought table from the house, B bought chairs, C has arranged all the electricity. Now all these are the property of the partnership firm. Okay, Swati Yadav, liability bond explain. So all this is the joint property of the partners. But Tanisha, if you have taken up a share in a Reliance and you have become the shareholder, is the Ambani's property your property? Reliance property is company's property. Owner is different, shareholders are different, members are different, directors are different. आपका कोई प्रॉपर्टी में इंटरेस्ट नहीं होगा, कंपनी की प्रॉपर्टी अलग है, मेंबर्स की प्रॉपर्टी अलग. Okay, clear? Yes, Padra Bharti, it's absolutely the same. Yes, all members, no, Padra Bharti, all members is not necessary to be the shareholders. If you take up a share in a company, you become shareholder. Yes, Sandeep. Company members may come and go. Company will always continue to exist. All right. So let's take a small break here. Just go through all these points. Section 4, Section 6 par lo, differences par lo, and then write off your doubts over here. We will first clear your doubts. What were the issues raised in KD Kamath? Hitesh ने लिखा. केडी कामत में हितेश ये इशू हुआ था कि केडी कामत ने टैक्स भरना था. सेल्स टैक्स ऑफिसर उसके पास आया और वो कहता है आप सोल प्रोप्राइटर हैं, आप अपना टैक्स भरिए. सो उसने कहा मैं सोल प्रोप्राइटर नहीं हूं, मैं पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. So he said, no, you are a sole proprietor because all the bank accounts are in your name. You are in having all the management in your hand. You only take all the business decisions. How can we say the other people are your partners? So he went to Supreme Court. He told them, we have created a partnership. We have made an agreement, but I am doing all the management and control. So law said, just because you are having all the management and control does not mean that you're not a partnership. As far as there is agreement between the partners, as far as you're doing the business, as far as you're sharing the profits of the business, you are said to be a partnership form of organization. Clear? Thank you, Hitesh. I'm glad it's clear to you. Anybody else is having any doubt, please write it down. Okay, Bhanu says here. Section 6. Okay, Tanisha, after the break, I'll give you a recap. जतिन एजेंसी में क्या नहीं समझ आया? एजेंसी चैप्टर में आपने ही करा हुआ है. यस, राइट. Yes, yes. He is the dependent, Hitesh. Prabhat Roy is asking why the number of partners is given in Companies Act. So what happened was Partnership Act में प्रभात ये define नहीं करा गया कि कितने partners हो सकते. So when Companies Act 2013 was amended, they said that in partnership you should not have more than 100 partners. उन्होंने एक limit set कर दी partnership. क्योंकि ये कहीं डिफाइंड नहीं था तो कंपनीज एक्ट जब बाद में आया तो उन्होंने इसकी लिमिट लगा दी. बट उसके बाद कंपनी के रूल्स आए 2014 जिसने कहा कि नंबर ऑफ पार्टनर्स को 50 तक रिस्ट्रिक्ट कर दिया जाए. सो अपने एग्जाम के लिए क्या लर्न करना है? 2 पार्टनर्स मिनिमम, मैक्सिमम 50. फ्रेंड्स शॉप ओनरशिप में अभी आपको बताऊंगी, डिफरेंसेस करेंगे. यस तमन्ना, क्यूमुलेटिव इफेक्ट किस चीज का पूछ रहे हो? All right, let's take a small break here, students, and then we will proceed ahead with the queries and then we will move forward. Sir, we are taking a break here. This said it would cease by partnership and okay, Hitesh, I'll take it up the break. Yes, students, welcome back. Let's quickly do the points of differences. Anyone having any doubts, please raise your hands. Yes, Divakar. Yes, Divakar, you can speak. Yes, Padula Parthi.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, speak. Hello.
Ma'am, in the point of sharing of profit,
Mm-hmm.
it is only a prima facie evidence and not conclusive evidence. Why
Yes.
it is why it is not a conclusive evidence?
So we discussed this point. I'll explain you again. So it says prima facie evidence means what is something which can be seen and proved. So when I tell you that Padula Parthi, you and me, we will be sharing the profits of the business, but I tell you that we are not having mutual agency. Then you tell me, can we say that it is a partnership form of organization?
Without mutual agency, it is not a partnership, ma'am.
It is no. So sharing of profits is not the only thing that has to prove it. We have to have the
3 points: agreement, sharing of profit.
all right, then we have to have sharing of profits. Along with that, mutual agency is very, very important. Okay, then that's why it is said that we cannot simply conclude of the sharing of profits. Clear?
Clear, ma'am.
Yes, Akshay.
Ma'am, hello, ma'am. One thing I need to ask. In a partnership has limited or unlimited liability?
Partnership has unlimited liability. Okay? All right. Now, what is the difference between partnership and club? So, no doubts in partnership versus company. In case of partnership and club, what is the difference between partnership and club? So, club is, say, for example, you have joined a club where you go for your gym membership or any other clubs that you have joined for any activity, any sports club. Do you become the partner of that club? The answer is no. Akshat, now I'll give you a chance at the end to raise your hands. You can write down if you still have any queries, okay? So, in the club, you only become a member. You don't become a partner. But under partnership, we have the partners, not the members, because we are sharing the profits. So, are you sharing the profits in case of Are you sharing the profits when you join a sports club? Answer is no. We don't share the profits. We only have the membership right. But in partnership, we share the profits. We are having mutual agency. We are doing the business together. Here, the objective is to earn profit. In the club, you don't have any objective of earning the profit. In club, we are not interested whether the club is doing well or not. We are not interested. We just go there as a member. Okay, now, do you have the interest in partnership properties? Say A, B, C are doing the business together and the table on which they used to sit for having lunch is broken. Are they interested in getting it repaired or will they be worried if the furniture gets broken? Yes, they are totally worried because it is their joint business. They are totally worried about this. But if anything is not working properly in the club, then we are not worried because we are just a member over there. We are not partners. How does the partnership get dissolved? Partnership get dissolved where all the partners are changing or they are leaving the firm, then the partnership get dissolved means it comes to an end. But in case of club, if members are coming and going, the club still continue to exist. It has nothing to do with the members for the dissolution. It is a separate form of organization. Is it clear? Now comes your most important, co-ownership. Many a times questions come from this topic of co-ownership. So partnership and co-ownership. If we are jointly owning a land and we get a rental income of it, children, co-ownership is not partnership first of all. को-ओनरशिप का हिंदी में मतलब होता है जॉइंटली किसी चीज को ओन करना. से ए एंड बी ब्रदर्स हैं और उनके पास काफी सारे प्रॉपर्टी पड़ी हुई है जिसके वो दोनों ही ओनर्स हैं, मतलब दोनों को ही मालिक माना जाता है. अब वो अगर उस प्रॉपर्टी को बेच देते हैं और उसमें से जो हिस्सा आता है उसको डिवाइड कर रहे हैं, क्या हम कह सकते हैं, कैन वी से ए एंड बी आर पार्टनर्स if the brothers just simply divide the portion of the house among themselves? Very good. Sarla says no. Prabhat, everybody, and Nana, Jatin, Mosami, Riddhi, Tanya, Sandeep, Bindya. Very good. No is the correct answer. Suhasini, Suhavani, Rai, Ravi, Desai. Good. Why? Because it is a co-ownership. We're just having the jointly owning the property and we're getting the. Yes, differences aate exam mein, somebody is asking. Karthik Verma, Rini, absolutely correct. But in partnership, we are doing the business with each other. There, we are not doing any kind of sharing of profits only. We are running the business together and then we share the profits and we have mutual agency. But this is not the case of co-ownership. Co-ownership is the result of the agreement between two people or because of inheritance. When you get the property from your parents, it is also co-ownership. And partnership, the contract is made, that is an agreement is written or owned. Here we have implied agency. Here there is no implied agency. Implied agency means here we are having agents of each other. One partner is liable for other partner's action. In co-ownership, there is no implied agency. Sharing of profits and losses is important in partnership. Here we are not sharing just the profits and losses. We are just sharing the revenue, whatever we have. How can you transfer the ownership? Here you can transfer the ownership only with the consent of other parties. But if A and B are co-owners and B said, I don't want to be the co-owner with you, I delegate my share to C. He can do that without B's consent. He can give his share to anybody else. Now I ask you a question. There were three partners, A, B, and C. They are three friends, not partners. They are three friends who have started doing a business of sale and purchase of property and they share the profits out of that. Is it a partnership firm? Yes or no? Can we say A, B, and C are into partnership? Yes or no? HUF is different, Padla Parthi. We will be doing HUF. All of you have given the correct answer. Yes, ma'am, it's a partnership. Why? Because here you have come into sharing of the profits. There is a business. And we also conclude that yes, there is a mutual agency present. But another case where A and B are just sharing the rental income. Can we say that they are partners? The answer is no. Okay. Everybody has carefully understood, because I'll be asking you many questions related to this topic. So the conceptual clarity is very, very important. Now, another is association of persons. What is the meaning of an association of persons? When two or more people come together for a social cause or any religious cause. So say, for example, during Diwali, your society members come together and they try to form a association that we'll be doing these business, they will be doing these, not business, we'll be doing dance or gidda or other cultural activities. All the society members are contributing for that, and they are picking up the expenditures out of that income. So can we say that society members have formed a partnership? Yes or no? Let me close the screen and see answers. No, ma'am. Absolutely correct. Then what is it kind of organization? It is a association of persons. Just people are coming together and doing a business. It does not mean partnership. Okay? Then how it is different from partnership? Partnership, you're doing the business, you're doing the earning the profits, and partnership, you're running for the business, and here you're having it for the charitable or religious purpose. Clear, everyone? Now let me open HUF and partnership. From the study, we have too many points in HUF, but the major points of partnership in HUF first we come from the presentation. It takes too much time while opening the chat boxes. Children, I'll give you time at the end for any queries, because I'm not fine. I can't see any queries. I hope nobody's having any query. Okay, thank you for writing. No doubts, ma'am. That's great. No exit any business. What are you writing? No exit means exit from the business. Okay. Okay, Mosami, this line which you have asked, partnership is created by agreement. I'm going to explain you this line. So partnership is created by an agreement. However, in HUF, you get the status. Status means once the child is born. Now, there is an HUF family which is running the business, and a child is born in their family. Now, this child will become the member of HUF from by birth only. They don't have to wait him to become a major. A minor becomes the member by the ancestral property by birth, not by attaining majority. You don't have to wait for him to become major. Just by his birth, he has become the member of that family. But in partnership, you don't become, say, for example, very interesting example. A and B want to do business together. Children, what will they sign? They will sign an agreement. Then only they become the partners. Now, A has a son in his house, Mr. C. C was born in A's family. Will C also become partner when AB associates? Just because A has had a son, will the son will also become a partner? Everybody says no, ma'am. Why? Because for becoming a partner, you will have to sign an agreement. Not by birth in one of the partner's house, you become a partner. Clear? And now coming point to the liability. Liability of all the partners is unlimited. However, here only the liability of Karta is unlimited. Who is Karta? Karta is the senior most member of the HUF family, whose liability is unlimited. Other members' liability is limited. But in partnership, all the partners' liability is unlimited. In partnership, the maximum number of partners that you can have is 50. But there is no limit on the number of members of HUF. So the important point is how the partnership is formed. It is formed by an agreement. But HUF, you become the member by both. Number of members is important, liability is important, and minors point is important for HUF and the partnership form. All right. Let us see once from here also. All the points of differences we have covered related to company and the partnership. All the points we have covered related to club also. And HUF, we can see if there are any more additional points. So HUF children, amendment in Hindu Succession Act, all the adult members, HUF males and families can become the co-partners in HUF. They enjoy equal rights. Joint Hindu family is a kind of Hindu family which is doing business together. It's a joint family business, okay? The death of a partner might lead to dissolution. Death of a member does not lead to dissolution of the family business. It's still possible. All the partners take part in the management. Here, basically, karta, whether a male or female member, he only take part in the majorly in the management. Governing law, it is governed by Indian partnership. It is governed by Hindu. A firm is subject to a contract between the partners. You can go through these points. If you have any doubt in any of the point, you can ask. Member can file a suit for the accounts, provided he also seeks for the dissolution. On separation of the joint family, a member is not. If you're leaving the joint Hindu business family, you cannot ask for the accounts. कि मुझे account check कराओ, आपका business कैसा चल. But in partnership, you can ask for the accounts. You can tell him that I'm because you are liable there for the partners. Okay. Each partner has their share of profits. Here, there is no defined share. The share keeps on fluctuating. Then co-ownership also, it says partnership is different from co-ownership because the relationship between persons who own the properties jointly or in common. Association also we have done. So all the types of differences we have covered. Ma'am, please explain club, Drishti Jain. Drishti Jain, क्लब क्या होता है? जैसे आपने जिम ज्वाइन कर, जिम में आप किसी जिम के क्लब में जाते हो, तो दृष्टि जैन क्या आप उसके पार्टनर बन जाते हो? अगर आपने कोई नो, व्हाई यू डोंट बिकम अ पार्टनर, यू बिकम अ मेंबर ओवर देयर. वो कह रहे क्लब एंड मेंबर का जो रिलेशनशिप है वो पार्टनरशिप का रिलेशनशिप नहीं है. क्लब अगर डिसॉल्व हो रहे, मेंबर्स आ रहे हैं जा रहे हैं, तो क्लब डिसॉल्व नहीं होगा. क्लब विल स्टिल कंटिन्यू टू एग्जिस्ट. Pari is asking how many points to learn. Beta, it depends. If you get a 7 marks question, points of differences, please write 7 points for company and partnership. Okay. And for any other, it depends. 2 marks, 4 marks, depend करता है. You have to learn the points. तनीषा कह रही है मैम एक बार co-ownership बता दीजिए. तनीषा co-ownership में क्या नहीं समझ आया? Ownership means आप jointly अगर कोई चीज own कर रहे हो, आप property jointly own कर रहे हो, okay? Then it is ownership. Shri Krishna, no, it is not HUF. HUF is a Hindu undivided family business where joint family is doing the business together. Okay, so it is different from partnership. Akshat is asking, ma'am, association and club same होते हैं? But association of persons is specifically when I told you that people are joining for doing certain kind of activity. Club है आपका जैसे आपने कोई जिम का क्लब ज्वाइन करा है या स्पोर्ट्स क्लब ज्वाइन करा. So club and association of persons में नहीं, आपने क्लब का पार्टनरशिप के साथ क्या डिफरेंस है, एसोसिएशन का पार्टनरशिप के साथ क्या डिफरेंस है, that is important for you to remember. And I'm sure this quiz time will again help you to clarify your doubts and answer me nicely what you have. But I can see Megha ma'am has also joined. Ma'am, you want? Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, Aline, you can carry on. I'm
Okay.
just...
All right. So let's let's test our knowledge, whatever we have done in the class till now. First, we will do certain MCQs and then we'll jump to the case studies. So firm is the name given to the partners, the minors in the firm, the business under which the firm carries on the business, or it is the collective name under which it carries the business. So what is firm exactly? Somebody is saying partners, co-partners. Mosami co-partners means the co-ownership में आपका जो HVF, the members that you're having. Okay, good, Sarla Devi. D is the correct answer. Bindya is also giving wrong answer. Collective name under which you carry on the business is the correct answer. Padula Parthi, correct. Sri Krishna, correct answer. So all of you, those who have said D is the correct answer. Child form is the collective name. I told you A, B, C. Individually, they are known as partners. Together, they are only known as the firm. Okay, beta? Let's move to the next one. What is the true test for partnership? Now here, actually, the exact question is, what is the conclusive evidence? What will you call as the true test? For true test, you will say, ma'am, 3 points are very important. But what is the conclusive evidence? One is prima facie evidence. But I am asking, what is the conclusive evidence for the partnership? So what is the correct answer? Everybody? Question 2D, absolutely correct. Mutual agency, because even if we are having an agreement, even if you're sharing the profits, if mutual agency is not there, then you're not bound. So तीनों का होना जरूरी है, but mutual agency is the conclusion, main conclusion, because company and partnership में भी mutual agency का ही difference है. Ownership में तो है ही different होता है. Okay? A, B, C are 3 partners. A purchased furniture for business purpose from D. Can D recover the money from B and C as well? Please give me the reasons also. If you say yes, then why? If you say no, then why? Furniture was purchased by A as a partner in the firm. Can he recover the money? Very good, Bhanu. Good answers. Okay, Priya, your answer for the previous one was correct. Mosami, good. So yes is the correct answer. Everybody. Sri Krishna, excellent. He has written yes, ma'am, because of the mutual agency principle present. That's why all the partners are liable for each other's action. Now, question number 4, if I ask you before going to question number 4, if here only I just change this, that A has purchased this furniture not for the business purpose, but for his personal house from D. Then also can D recover the money from B and C? अगर उसने बिजनेस के लिए नहीं खरीदा है, अपने घर के लिए फर्नीचर खरीदा, can we apply the mutual agency for personal things also? Absolutely correct. No, ma'am. Why? Because only for the purpose of business we are agent of each other, not for our personal life also. So business purpose बहुत जरूरी है. It is important to understand that we are having mutual agency only for the purpose of business relationship between all the parties. Excellent. Then he cannot recover. All of you have given the correct answer for this one also. Good. Now, which of the following is not an essential element of partnership? So we have done section 4, all the detailed elements of partnership. Section 6, the true test of partnership. But I am asking you here, which of the following is not an essential element? So, अगर आपको कभी students after foundation, you will be going to intermediate. So, MCQs you will be attempting actually in your intermediate. We are not having MCQs in foundation as of now, but MCQs give you a conceptual clarity. We will be doing MCQs when we go to intermediate. So, I'm just trying to give you a tip how you have to apply your knowledge when you're solving an MCQ related question. So, if it is not an essential element, now instead of reading it, let me just find out First option, agreement between the parties. This is necessary, so it cannot be not essential element. This is the essential element. Sharing of profits, yes, this is also essential element, so this cannot be the answer. Then business carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. Since the time we have started this chapter, we are talking continuously about this line, that mutual agency. So ये तो है ही है. But क्या हमने एक बारी भी ऐसी बात करी कि business must start within 6 months? Have we ever read till now that 6 month condition? So what is the correct answer? This is not the essential element. In fact, this is not any element of the partnership because there is no such time period or limit given. So that is how you should apply your knowledge. If you're not finding what is the correct answer, read through the options, try to frame if it answers the question which has been asked. All right. Now the next question. In the absence of agreement to the contrary, all the partners are not entitled to share the profits. In the absence of agreement to the contrary, हिंदी में इसका मतलब क्या होता है? परी पूछ रही है हिंदी में इसका मतलब होता है अगर एग्रीमेंट नहीं है तो, in the absence of agreement to the contrary, मतलब किस कंटेक्स्ट के रिलेटेड अगर एग्रीमेंट नहीं. So this is a very important statement in partnership. Again and again we use such kind of statements. Why? Because partnership is established on the basis of an agreement. So at some places, if we are not having the agreement related to share of profits, then they will not share the profits. They will share in the capital ratio. They will share equally or none of the above. So this is one question which you have been solving from class 11th and 12th in your accounts. So ये तो सबको पता है कि if agreement में नहीं लिखा तो partners share the profits equally. Clear? Everybody has given the correct answer for this. The position of minor is same in partnership as well as in HUF. So now this kind of question can come as a case study also. There is a minor child, Mr. X. He is a member in HUF. Can this minor be a partner also in partnership firm? Or we can say that this minor is having a position of minor in HUF. Is it the same position? Yes or no? First give me the correct answer for this MCQ. All of you, false? So false is the correct answer. Well done, Mosami, Shri Krishna, Banu, Priya, Padula Parthi, Sarla Devi. Well done. All of you have given the correct answer. Yes, Shri Krishna, with the consent of partners you can become, but as of now, position if I've asked, then false is the correct answer. They don't have the same position. Why do you don't have the same position? Anyone would like to answer me? Why do you not? Because in minor in HUF, you become the member in the HUF business by birth. You don't have to sign any agreement. But for partnership, I told you we'll be doing in the second chapter in section 30, how do you become a partner? Now let's start a new topic, that is kinds of partnership.
Harleen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Can I take 2 minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
I was just waiting for the MCQs to complete and a new topic to get started.
All right.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, dear students. As you have completed the Sales of Goods Act yesterday, and now we have started the Indian Partnership Act, and there will be 6 lectures for this, 2 chapters per unit. So I am assuming that you have completed the Sales of Goods Act. Harleen ma'am has taught you so wonderfully, and we have received so wonderful positive comments that we have learned so much, so advanced, so wonderful in the Sales of Goods Act. And some queries I was receiving on Ask Your Query, as actually the students are reading from the study material and they are posing the queries to me as well. But there is a wonderful performance of the students also, since they are reading the study material, reading the saransh, practicing the questions, and simultaneously they are asking the queries in the LVC class also, and they are sending queries to me through Ask Your Query. So students are reading. I can understand this through LVC classes and through the emails received through Ask Your Query. 2-3 queries I received in this class. One student was asking when the syllabus will be completed. So the syllabus for business laws will be completed by 3rd August, And the webinars, revision classes will start from 4th August till 10th August. 6 days you are having two revision class for Indian Contract Act, one class for Sales of Goods Act, one revision class for Indian Partnership, one is for Companies Act, and one is for negotiable plus your LLP. So the flyer or the announcement we will host in 1 or 2 days, but your syllabus will be completed by 3rd of August of all the subjects. I think QT will left, but business law ke liye it will be completed by 3rd August. And now for some days you are having all the classes on Saturday and Sundays, 11 to 1 and 2 to 4. So please join the class and do not skip any class. If you inadvertently or due to some time constraint, you are not able to attend the live class, then you can attend the recorded class as well. One query I received that what can we have to write as per the study material? No, since many times since Sudeep sir was also teaching to you, Harleen ma'am is also teaching to you that we are not required to write as it is. You can write in your own language, but that language should be legal. Legal language कैसे आएगी आपको? When you will read the study material. Okay. So as many times you read the study material, automatically the language will come in your flow when you are writing. So I also cannot write as per the study material. If you ask me now that, ma'am, you please write. So I cannot write that as per the study material. But yes, we have to write as per the legal language. Like, for example, I just take the example of small companies always. Small company mein there is a paid up capital of 4 crores and turnover 40 crores in the immediately preceding financial year, and that company should not be a public company. Okay, and that should not be a holding company, subsidiary company. So you can write in your simple language, but these keywords like paid up capital 4 crores, turnover 40 crores, and the word that is and public company and of the holding company, subsidiary company, these words should reflect in your answer. Okay, I'm not saying you just write notwithstanding and बड़े बड़े words लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. You write, but आपका जो provision है you are writing that should be correct. One last query which I received, section number. This query I received many times. Our LVC faculties are also explaining that at the foundation level, quoting of section number is not mandatory. Okay, but you can write, if you have remembered the correct section number, you can write it. But if you are not remembering the correct section number, you can simply start your answer by writing according to the provisions of the Indian Contract Act 1872 or whatever is the name of the act. But name of the act and year should be correct. Okay, so today we have started the first unit of the Indian Partnership Act and we will finish it on Wednesday. Indian Partnership Act Unit 1. The notes and assignment is pending from my side. I will upload it by today evening. Just after finishing the class, you just read the notes and do some questions of the assignments as well. Okay. And yes, you can continue the sending me the queries through Ask Your Query portal. And just complete from the study material, Saransh, and practice the questions from the end of the study material as well, along with the publications I have announced many times. Okay, so over to you, Harleen. You can start the topic, and
Yes,
I mean reply in the chat box some queries. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for your concern. All right. I'm so happy, students, to hear a feedback from ma'am that you all are studying so well, and that's why you are writing back to us. So that's really wonderful. So even in today's class, we have some case studies also, which I really want to discuss with you. So I think we will first do this topic of kinds of partnership, then we will come back to the case studies. So this is the case study which I wanted to do with you, but let me just explain you the kinds of partnership briefly and then we do one case study. So now kinds of partnership means how many types of partnership do we have? But this topic is divided with context to the time duration or with extent to the business also. With regard to duration means regard to time period. Means if with regard to time period, what kind of partnership are we having? And one is with regard to extent of business. For business purposes, how kind of partnership we have. So let me tell you, first there is a partnership for a fixed period. Jahan pe time defined. What is the meaning of time? That is, if for example, A and B have entered into a partnership for 10 years. Now we have fixed the time. We have decided that we will be partners for 10 years. That means it is a partnership for a fixed period. After 10 years, a partnership will automatically come to an end. Clear? Then second is a particular partnership, which is particularly for a particular extent of business that we have decided. See, for example, we have a general partnership of cloth merchants. We are ready-made garments merchants and we buy and sell the clothes. So we have a general partnership and we are partners with each other. They are having all that limited liability, sharing of profits, business, everything that we are doing. But we have decided to put up an exhibition in Bombay. And now for that exhibition, we have entered into a particular partnership with C also. So A, B and C are having this partnership, which is particular partnership only with respect to that exhibition business. So once that business will come to an end, this particular partnership for that particular venture, the word that you use, any particular undertaking or adventure or that venture or business purpose for which we have come into partnership, once that exhibition will end, that particular business will end, our partnership will also automatically come to an end. So जो time से related है वो है partnership for a fixed period, that is a time specific. When the time खत्म, time ends, partnership also. Particular partnership is for that particular venture or business. Once it ends, the partnership also ends. But what is partnership at will? Will का मतलब क्या होता है? Choice. हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं? अपनी मर्जी से. Choice means will. You at your own will, you have decided to do a partnership. Now, A and B said that let's start a partnership. In the morning, they decided we are so good friends. Let's sign a partnership agreement and we will be partners. They have not determined the extent of business and not they have determined the time period also. ना ही time decide करा, fixed partnership नहीं है. ना ही कोई extent of determination decide करा, business का extent decide करा, it's not a particular partnership. So they just said that it is a partnership at will. Means, हिंदी में बोलते हैं चले तो बरसों तक, ना चली तो शाम तक. ठीक है ना? मतलब चले तो शाम तक, नहीं तो बरसों तक. Means if we want, we are partners for forever. And if we don't, if we have a fight, we are not in good terms and conditions, and we will end the partnership at our own will. So partnership at will has the flexibility on the partners deciding it as and when, how long they want to continue this partnership form, they will continue. And if they're not having any kind of cordial relationships, by giving a notice to each other, they come to it. याद करने वाली बात कौन सी है? It has no determination with relation to the time period, and for the partnership, then it is a partnership at will. Let me just show you the content from the study. So this is the topic that we have started. So everything is so beautifully given in the modules. Such charts are given. So you can just go through it and prepare the charts in your own language also. So partnership at will is very, very important. Section 7 defines that there is no fixed term and no provision regarding the determination of partnership. Okay, so no extent has been decided, no time period. So these two conditions must be satisfied, then only it is known as partnership at will. But if we have the time period duration decided, then it is partnership for a fixed period. If we have decided the extent of business, if we have decided that partnership is for particular adventure, single adventure activity, like I gave you an example, then it is a particular partnership. Fixed partnership will come to an end on the expiry of that period. Particular partnership, once that particular business has ended, it will come to an end. Partnership constituted for a single adventure is dissolved by the completion of that adventure. Now, where the problem occurs, then what is a general partnership? ये कौन सी partnership है? Particular partnership, general कोई फर्क है क्या? Yes, there is a difference. Basically, particular partnership, basically how we try to do is, partnership for a fixed period is where the time is decided. Partnership at will is where no time or extent is decided. Particular partnership is different from general partnership. In general partnership, the liability of the partners is unlimited. Whatever business we are doing, our liability is unlimited. But in particular partnership, our liability is limited to that particular adventure. General partnership is different from LLP. तो वो कहते हैं क्यों कहा ये? क्योंकि because now we have a different form of organization. When we started this chapter, I told you that after partnership, you will be doing limited liability partnership. I was a sole proprietor. I had huge unlimited liability. I joined hands with someone to become a partner. Both of us have huge unlimited liability. We thought of forming a company, but company requires so much of compliance, so much of work. So in 2008, government started a new form of organization, that is limited liability partnership. Will be formed with the help of an agreement only. Partnership का base क्या है? Flexibility of agreement. हमने decide करा, sign करा, अपने terms and conditions decide कर दी. Agreement. LLP is also the similar kind of partnership form, but it is a limited liability having a corporate kind of structure. So we are not forming a company, neither we are into partnership, we are in between of company and partnership. We can form LLP. So basically, particular partnership, general partnership, and LLP are divided on the basis of the liability. With respect to the business that you're doing general, it is a general partnership. Particular partnership is for the particular adventure. LLP is for having the limited liability of the partner. Clear? So the kinds of partnership is very, very important because question can come. They can be a straightforward question also, children. They can be a case study based also. All right. So now I want to do one important case study with you. Since we have done the relevant topic today, so I think we can do this case study. So Mr. Ram and Rahim are working as teachers in Ch4 Vidyasagar Higher Secondary School, and also they are very good friends. They jointly purchased a flat which was given on rent. It was given on rent to Mr. John. They have jointly purchased a flat which was given on rent to Mr. John. So who are the two partners? Who are the two people they're talking about? Ram, Rahim are two people who are working together in a school. They have jointly purchased a flat and they have given it on rent to Mr. John. It was decided between the landlords and the tenant. Who is a tenant? जिसको हमने किराए पे दिया है उसको tenant बोलते हैं. Owner को हम landlord. That the rent would be 10,000 including the electricity bill. And the electricity bill will be paid by the landlord. Landlord by mistake did not pay the electricity bill. And Rachna, I will give you time at the end for raising hands. Let me just complete this case study first, beta. So the landlord did not pay the electricity bill. Due to this, the electricity department cut the connection. Mr. John had to pay the bill of 2,800 and 200 rupees as penalty. Mr. John want to claim this 3,000 rupees from Mr. Ram, but Ram said, I am liable only for 1,500. John said, Ram and Rahim are partners. Therefore, I can claim the full amount from any of the partners. And if they are partners, then on the basis of mutual agency, I can claim from any of the partners. Now, you tell us under Indian Partnership Act, is Ram liable to pay whole of the 3,000 to Mr. John? Okay, you're raising hands for the answers. Oh my God. All right. Now you can raise your hands for the answers. Who would like to answer it? I thought you're raising hands for the queries. Okay, Rachna was the first one. So let's give a chance to Rachna. Hanji, Rachna.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Beta.
Ma'am, this is a case of co-ownership, not a partnership.
Case of co-ownership. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, let's hear from others also. Yes, Sri Krishna. One point each.
Ma'am, here no partnership is involved. Here co-ownership is involved. So Ram and Rahim both are liable.
Both are liable. Okay, okay. Yes, Akshat, how much amount they are liable for each other? 3,000 or 1,500? Yes, Nikhil.
Ma'am, both are liable. Ram and him both are liable to pay the amount 3,000.
Mutual agency is applicable, Nikhil, or not?
Ma'am, applicable. Yes.
Applicable?
मैम क्योंकि
Partnership है?
हाँ.
No, wrong, Nikhil. It is not a case of partnership. Okay, let's hear from Pooja. Yes, Pooja.
Ma'am, Ram is liable for 1,500.
And Rahim?
Rahim is also. Both are liable equal.
Is it a partnership?
No, ma'am, it's co-ownership.
Very good, very good. Okay, Padra Parthi, is there mutual agency in case of co-ownership?
No, ma'am. Here there is no mutual agency.
Very good, very good. Excellent. Okay, Sandeep, you also want to speak?
Yes, ma'am. Ram is liable for only 1,500 because of it is a co-owners agreement. In a partnership, true test, according to true test of partnership, here is no existed said the profit of business. Business is no existed in both parties, and mutual agency is also not existing there. So it is not a partnership.
Excellent, 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 all of you. Yes, want to say something?
There is only co-ownership, madam. There is no word of partnership, as they are just friends and conducted rental basis.
Excellent, beta. Very well done. Very well done. Yes, Ravi.
Here, mutual agency is not applicable. Both partners are not in partnership.
Good, beta. Very good. Yes, Sarla Devi.
Ma'am, here is, there is a case of co-owners. There is no mutual agencies. Both parties are liable to bear the expenses equally.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Beautifully, you all have mentioned the answer, and I'm super proud of my class. Well done, each one of you. And now, how to present the answer. That is the major story. So many a times when we read such kind of question, the first thing that comes to our mind is, were there any calculations? Why are they talking about electricity bills or rents? But please read the question twice with a very relaxed mind. Just imagine, instead of me telling you the answers, you all have disclosed the answers yourself. That means you have read the question very carefully. And this is the main tip that you have to remember in the exam also, to read the question very carefully. And now this is how you have to write the answer. You will give section 4, how the partnership is formed, what are the major elements. And on the basis of above facts given, they cannot be partners because they are teachers. You also give the definition of co-ownership. You can write a line between a difference between partnership and co-ownership. And then it is very important to give this line. Which line? That is, by merely giving the flat on rent, they are not doing any partnership. They are only having the co-ownership. There is no partnership. Therefore, Ram is liable to pay his share only. John can claim the rest, 1,500 from Rahim. So both of them are liable to pay their share equally. Clear, everyone? So we have done case studies also. We have done MCQs also. I hope you have no doubts. Section 4, Section 6, all the points of references. We have even started with kinds of partnership, but I will be doing certain MCQs and important questions also related to kinds of partnerships. Yes, Pari, it's 4 o'clock. And if you want to ask any queries, you can ask. Ma'am, I will revise whole of Soga today and do very good, Akshay. Okay, Mosami, all clear. That's great. And children, do fill your feedback forms also. We are very happy to receive positive feedbacks from you. And also, I'm very happy the way you are responding and answering the questions. So give yourself a patting from my side. Well done. Thank you, Karthik Verma. Thank you, all of you. And revise whatever we have done in the class today, children, because we have a lot of many questions coming. Yes, you can refer to Saransh Sri Krishna. Saransh is really helpful, but for learning part, we have to stick to the study material. Okay, all right. Thank you, Bhanu. Thank you, Tanisha. Thank you so much. Friends, okay. Thank you, everybody. Somebody is writing, give example of. Yes, sir, we are done. Any students, if you're left with any of the queries, please, you can ask me in the next class. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.